Now, you may recall our coverage a few weeks ago of the Bitcoin phenomenon. It's a virtual currency which seduced many people who don't trust governments. Early last year, a Bitcoin was worth $5. It became so popular that earlier this year, they were changing hands at around $1,200, and now they're worth about $600. The organization responsible for the crash is the Chinese government. A currency which is not controlled by a central bank, has no physical existence, and can be carried around on a memory stick, is the antithesis of what the Chinese Communist Party stands for. They're banning the buying of bitcoins with Chinese currency. Andrew Verity has more.
The vision behind it is remarkable.
Lots of its uses are somewhat shady.
It's symbolic, I think, of a concern the Chinese have about losing their grip on this regime of capital controls.
Currencies are all about confidence. If enough people accept them as payment, you know that you can buy what you want, so you can accept them too. In a prison, it might be cigarettes. On the internet, it's encrypted messages which you buy and then send to other users to pay for your beer or cake. Bitcoin. Today, confidence in Bitcoin collapsed.
Today's been an amazing day in the Bitcoin world with some interesting but concerning news coming out from China. The issue basically is the Chinese government has stopped a payment processor from allowing the normal Chinese population to deposit money into the biggest exchange in the world. So basically, Chinese people are going to be finding it quite difficult to buy Bitcoins in the near future.
If Bitcoin could be created too easily, it would soon be worth very little, like the German currency in 1923. So its supply is controlled, but not by a central bank. Instead, users accept a protocol which restricts supply of new Bitcoins to 150 of them per hour. While supply is restricted, demand for Bitcoin has rocketed, fed by the growing belief that it's credible and legal. At the start of the year, one Bitcoin would cost you $13.28, just over £8. The price rose as traders guessed that US authorities would accept it as a legal means of exchange. A month ago they did so, and the top US central banker Ben Bernanke endorsed it. The price topped more than $1,100 or £670 per coin. By the end of today it was worth less than half that. Imagine if the pound rose by 40% one day and then next month fell by 30%. Either of those events would be big enough to be regarded as a currency crisis to throw any government into a panic. That's what's led critics of Bitcoin to say it's too volatile to be seen as a currency, more like a get-rich-quick scheme.
It's proved that Bitcoin is in no way ready to be called a currency at the moment, given the volatility that we've seen over the course of the past 2 weeks. It's basically halved in value. Merchants cannot use it as a medium of exchange, simply put, because they don't know where the value is. We saw a guy buy a car 5 days ago in the United States for about $103,000, paid for it in Bitcoins, about 91 Bitcoins were used for it. The value of Bitcoin since that has halved, so that car dealership is now sitting on a 50% loss.
Well, we don't mind having a whip round. What have we got?
A month ago, the much-followed financial blogger Max Kaiser was asked the following question.
Can you explain to us in an entirely understandable way what a Bitcoin is?
It's an electronic currency. It's used exactly like money, except it's not backed by any state. So you have no state interference. They can't print it.
In spite of its volatility, Kaiser believes Bitcoin's restricted supply means it'll be stronger in the long run than normal currencies where central banks create billions from thin air.
Currencies are volatile. But if you contrast, let's say, Bitcoin with, let's say this, the British pound. Okay, clearly, British pound, the supply is infinite. You know, the Bank of England can print any number they want. Anytime they make a mistake, they print more British pounds, and therefore you have a debasement of the currency, where in Bitcoin it's capped to supply 21 million Bitcoins. So in that respect, it's sounder than paper money. This is basically worthless. These pounds, you know, they're backed by nothing. They're collateralized.
Don't do that.
Today, Ben Bernanke confirmed that the Federal Reserve was slowing down its money printing from $85 billion a month to a mere $75 billion. The dollar moved only slightly. That's how the Fed likes its currency, nice and steady.